Good morning, Scotland. Good morning, social media land. I hope you're well. It is Wednesday, the 18th of December 2024. In 1973, as Scotland's vast oil reserves were discovered beneath the North Sea, a calculated decision was made that would forever alter the nation's financial future. Westminster shut down Scotland's stock exchanges and merged them into the London Stock Exchange. This move, coming just before oil began flowing ashore, ensured that Scotland could not trade on its newfound wealth. It denied Scots the ability to raise capital locally, relegating decisions about their resources to distant London boardrooms. Scotland's oil, a potential game changer for its economy, became another tool for Westminster to consolidate power. The timing was no coincidence. As Scotland's true wealth emerged, so too did the mechanisms to keep it hidden under the Union's control. With no financial infrastructure of its own, Scotland was locked out of the benefits its resources could have delivered, forced to watch as its wealth was siphoned away. But what if things had been different? What if Scotland had retained its stock exchanges, using them to raise capital for its industries and build a sovereign financial ecosystem? What if Scotland had used its oil wealth to establish its own currency, backed by one of the world's most valuable commodities? Imagine a Scotland in the 1970s that controlled its own oil wealth and retained its stock exchanges in Glasgow, Edinburgh, Aberdeen and Dundee. With financial institutions rooted in the heart of its economy, Scotland could have raised capital for its burgeoning oil industry. Local oil companies could have sought investment directly from Scottish markets, bypassing London completely. These exchanges would have become hubs of economic activity, attracting eager investors to capitalise on Scotland's oil boom. By retaining this infrastructure, Scotland could have built a financial sector aligned with its industries, creating jobs, fostering innovation, and reinvesting profits locally. With control of its resources, Scotland could have established a sovereign currency backed by its oil revenues. Countries like Norway and Qatar have demonstrated the stability and strength resource-backed currencies can bring. Oil revenues would have provided a financial buffer, ensuring that Scotland's currency remained stable, even in volatile global markets. A Scottish central bank focused solely on the needs of Scotland's economy could have managed interest rates and inflation without interference from Westminster. By the 1980s, Scotland's currency could have been a symbol of its independence, a tool for economic growth, and a point of pride for its people. While Scotland's oil reserves were finite, a resource-backed currency would have laid the foundation for long-term financial stability. Revenues could have been funnelled into the Sovereign Wealth Fund, similar to Norway's government pension fund. By investing oil profits in global markets, Scotland could have created a financial safety net for future generations. This fund would have ensured that Scotland's economy remained resilient even as oil production declined. Today, Norway's Sovereign Wealth Fund exceeds $1 trillion. $1 trillion, supporting public services and shielding the economy from global downturns. Had Scotland followed a similar path, its economy could have been amongst the most strongest and secure in the world. The benefits of financial sovereignty extend beyond oil. With control over its fiscal and monetary policies, Scotland could have tailored its economic strategies to its unique needs. A Scottish central bank could have had the flexibility to address domestic challenges such as regional inequality and economic diversification. By setting interest rates and borrowing terms that prioritised long-term growth, Scotland could have avoided the austerity policies imposed by Westminster. A strong, independent currency could have allowed Scotland to trade on its own terms, fostering international partnerships and strengthening its global standing. Scotland's potential for financial independence isn't just hypothetical. Many small nations have built thriving economies by managing their own financial systems. Norway's Sovereign Wealth Fund is a prime example of how resource wealth can be transformed into long long-term stability. Ireland's strategic use of fiscal autonomy to attract international investment demonstrates how a smaller nation can punch above its weight in the global economy. Denmark's tightly managed currency and robust financial sector prove that small countries can achieve economic resilience and prosperity. Scotland shares many of these nations' advantages: rich resources, a skilled workforce, and a strategic location. The difference is that they had control over their financial destiny, while Scotland's was dictated by Westminster. Today, Scotland's path to financial sovereignty remains open. The oil may no longer flow as abundantly as it once did, but Scotland's renewable energy resources offer a new foundation for economic growth. Offshore wind, tidal energy, and green hydrogen production could power Scotland's economy while providing a stable base for a future currency. Rebuilding a Scottish stock exchange would give local businesses access to investment and provide a platform for international trade. By establishing its own central bank, Scotland could manage its currency and fiscal policies in a way that prioritises its people over the demands of distant politicians. The closure of Scotland's stock exchanges in 1973 was more than just a loss of financial infrastructure. It was a symbol of the Union's control over Scotland's wealth. It ensured that decisions about Scotland's economy were made in London and not in Edinburgh, and that the benefits of these resources flowed southward. But this does not have to remain the case. Independence offers Scotland a chance to reclaim its financial sovereignty, to create a currency that reflects its economic strength, and to build a financial system that serves the people. Imagine a Scotland where wealth is reinvested locally, where financial decisions are made by Scots for Scots, and where a stable, tradable currency supports a thriving, independent economy. This vision isn't just a dream, it's a future within reach. You have to ask yourselves, will we continue to let Westminster control our financial destiny, or will we take the steps needed to secure it for ourselves? Independence isn't just about political freedom, it's about economic empowerment, financial stability, and building a nation that works for everyone. How many of you people watching this video just now knew that Scotland had its own stock exchanges? How many of you knew that it was Westminster that closed them down? And how many of you knew that they were closed down right before the oil started coming ashore? Is that not just a perfect storm of bullshit? I mean, you could say that's a conspiracy theory, but everything I said there is a fact. It all happened at that time. Oh, Mo, it's just because it was streamlining the economy of these islands as a whole. No, it was so Scotland couldn't trade in its own oil. It's so we would never find out through the financial markets that our oil wealth was ridiculously embarrassing, and we wouldn't be asking for independence, demanding independence, fighting for our independence as a result of our wealth. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Scotland deserves its wealth. Scotland deserves not just to be in control of its own destiny. We need reparations of what was stolen from us. We need that wealth returned. And Westminster should be the ones paying for it. Mental. Anyway, tomorrow's video will be about pushing the cause forward, so we can take those what-ifs of the past couple of days and start to consider how important they are about building a better Scotland, about dreaming a little and acting a lot. That's the important thing. So come back tomorrow and we'll be talking about the 2026 election and how we can take advantage of our electoral system to push Scotland into a position where we're more likely to establish our independence. Thank you for watching.
I found the oil beneath the seas, a wealth so vast it brought them to their knees. But Westminster chose a darker way to hide the truth and make us pay. Civil servants whispered out of sight, memos buried deep, kept from the light. Our wealth was theirs to hold and keep, while Scotland's dreams were laid to sleep. They stole our gold, they hid the truth. They robbed our land, they robbed our youth. A future lost, a nation sold. Scotland's riches turned to stolen gold. We can't forgive, we won't forget. This union's chains are shackles yet. The Chancellor knew and the memo said Scotland could thrive, but they chose dread. The oil was ours to break the chains, but they poured it out to heal their pains. MPs we trusted turned their backs. They let us bleed to fill their cracks. Our wealth a secret, our hope denied, while Scotland's children were fed with lies. They stole our gold, they hid the truth. They robbed our land, they robbed our youth. A future lost, a nation sold. Scotland's riches turned to stolen gold. We can't forgive, we won't forget. This union's chains are shackles yet. A voice that's silent is a voice that's lost. How many futures will we let them cost? They lied before and they'll lie again, but Scotland's will won't ever bend. Now we know and now we rise. The memos laid bare the web of lies. Civil servants, MPs too, admitted what they always knew. This is our time to break the hold, reclaim what's ours, our stolen gold. No self-respecting Scot should bow. The fight is here, the time is now.